Am I audible?
Hi, hi, good. Uh, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah. I'm good. Thank you so much for this. What about the rest? So, welcome back after a long weekend. We had a long weekend, right? Now, I hope everyone has enjoyed the weekend. So, let's move to the business. It's a Monday. Okay. All right. So, I can see the people are back. I guess we have the same audience who already, right? Okay. So, is everyone there in the room in the session? Yes. If you can just unmute yourself and you can just let me know. So today we are about to start the regular session, and this is day one. And my name is Simran Bagaji. I'm a software engineer with an experience of a decade. Already I told about myself once again. And we are about to start the course on data analyst, and this is day one. So on day one, what agenda we are going to have is the installation and the download process. The environment, that is called integrated developed environment, right? IDE, right? The software is the environment that we require use. That is all we are going to download on our system, on our local system and machine. So I hope everyone is on their own system as spoken in the last session, right? Haven't said. If not, please everyone, get, okay, my voice is not clear. Okay, so, now you do check if my voice is audible or not. Now, Rakesh, yes, still is going. Okay, what about the rest? Is it the same case or he is the only one? If I can hear it from the rest of others, so it will be very much clear for me that if he is the only one who is not able to hear, or the rest of the audience also is not able to hear. Yes, guys. Okay, I hope you are able to hear me. Or is it the only issue with the Rakesh? Okay, we are hearing the
Yeah,
echo. Okay, hold on. Now you do check.
yeah,
Now,
we can hear you.
okay, you can hear me. Okay. Now, is it okay? Rakesh and Vijay? That is all. Okay, all right. Cool. I hope everyone is on the system. And so today, what we're going to do is that we're going to download the IDE on each of our system. So everyone is on their own local system. If yes, so please either raise your hand or you can just unmute yourself and let me know that you're on your local system. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So let's start to download. So let me share my screen and let me know if my screen is visible to you. So I'm trying to share you my screen. Is my screen visible to everyone? Okay. Three different softwares that we are going to download. Okay. We're going to have on our system. So you can see on my screen, right? Are you able to see on the screen? Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. All right. So please try to follow the steps. Please, I don't know. See, it's a virtual connection. So sometimes you try to unmute yourself, right? Even there's a background noise or something, you're not at the right place. Still, that's okay because see, I have switched my screen, so I'm not able to see the home screen where you are, right? I'm into the Google page right now. Please unmute yourself and you just quietly let me know because it takes a session or two, right? To get acquainted. Once we are in the flow, so that is okay, right? Whenever there's a Q&A session, you can unmute yourself. Rest of the time, you can just keep yourself muted. But this is a download session, so you just unmute yourself wherever you're stuck and let me know. So if you can go, right, follow the steps that I'm going to tell you. So what we need to do is that go to Google, go to Google, right, this way. Go to Google, this is my Google homepage. You type on PyCharm, PyCharm. See, look at the spelling, PyCharm download. PyCharm download. This is an environment. There are three environments that we are going to use. One is PyCharm, second one is Jupyter, and third one is Colab. Right. Colab being on a cloud, so that is what you don't have to download it. It is available on the internet. I'll tell you how. But this PyCharm and Jupyter, those has to be installed onto the software has to be installed in the system. Right. Before that, we have to download the APK file. Right. As you can see on the screen, just type on PyCharm download, press enter. Right, see, Everything is intelligence, right? We just the crawler, the Google understand what we are exactly trying to search, right? So on the first page only, at the first point, it will be able to show what exactly you are looking for. So you should get this PyCharm download, which is developed by JetBrains. JetBrains is one of the best companies I have ever seen into the development part of environment. I'm talking about the environment part, right? So this PyCharm is also developed by JetBrains. Click on this first link only, download PyCharm. So it will navigate you to the home page of JetBrains. I already have installed on my screen, so I'll not uninstall and install it back. I'll just guide you thoroughly, right? So you click on that link, download that first one. It should be of JetBrains. You can see on the left hand side there is a logo here. This is JetBrains. It will bring you over here. iCham Professional. Are you able to see it? You can see it. So there are two different ones. IDE for pure Python development, and this is Python IDE for professional development. Okay, got it? So just download it. So you can see the download has been started. So it's almost like 428 MB. So I have downloaded it on my system. So I'll just cancel it. What you guys need to do is that once again I'll guide you. Just click on back. Go to Google, type on PyCharm this way. PyCharm download. Click enter. As soon as you hit enter, it will show you this page. Go to this JetBrains. The first page, download PyCharm JetBrains, which is developed by JetBrains. You'll be navigated to this page, Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. See, there are three different operating systems, Mac OS, Linux, and Windows. Go there and try to download this part, IDE for pure Python development. This one. You can scroll it down. You can see download.exe. Download the exe file. You can see exe ARM64. Do not download that file because we don't know what system you're using. 32-bit, 64. Everyone is 64. One using 64 only. i5, i3, i7 all come under 64 only. But still go with .exe extension. That is direct extension file. Okay. And start downloading. It will take some time depending upon your internet speed. It's 428 MB. To make it very much clear and precise, it's 428 MB. So everyone has downloaded it on the screen on their system. Did you guys download? Please have you guys started to download that app, APK? Bintu, Shravani, Pavni, Kishore, Pradeep, Vijay, and Rakesh. There are two Kishore. Those are two different Kishore, or is it the same one? You can see there are two Kishore. Okay, Shravani has said yes. What about the rest? Okay, Bindu is saying
No,
yes.
sir. Hello. It is the same one.
No, no, there's one more feature. So it's your ID only.
From my side laptop, it's not working audio. So we are
No, I'm
also
saying
connected.
that another ID is the same one. You are the only one, right? With another ID.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, I thought I'm just asking if it's someone else. Okay, not a problem, Kishore. So did you start downloading this application, the software on your system?
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah, please start. Vijay, Rakesh, and Pradeep. Okay, yes. So once you're done with the download, you just let me know. Just let me know. I'll show you how the PyCharm looks like. This is what I have pinned it to the taskbar at, at the bottom. So you can see when on my screen, if you are able to see on my screen, this is how PyCharm looks like. This is the environment where you code. Let me show it to you. This is PyCharm. Check exactly how it looks like. This is a PyCharm. You can see this is PyCharm. The file over. We need it for pure code. We are going to use the different environment because see, I cannot. Why the reason is that there are three different environments. There are multiple ones. Spider is there, but the majority which is used by the company, Visual Studio is also being used. I cannot specify. One thing you need to understand. I cannot tell you very specifically that this company is going to use this environment. requirement only. I'm not so sure. It depends upon the company, like what they want to use. Like I was being asked recently, I'm working on Poland. That is what the requirement is. Previously, I was working, they were asked me to work on Visual Studio. I don't know which company might ask you which environment. So this is the only thing you can look when you're applying for the job as well. You'll be asked, okay, do you know Collab? Okay, do you know Jupyter, you know, PyCharm. So that is like an environment. So that you need to have an hands-on experience on all the environment. Just because you're not using that platform, that is what you should not get rejected. We're going to use all of them one by one. Once you're done with the download, you let me know. Are you guys done with the download? Those who are done, just raise his or her hand so that I'll be able to understand that you're done with the download process. Second one, what you can do is that second software is available. Let me click. That is Jupyter. Jupyter, you can see over here. Jupyter. Jupyter. I can go see on the screen. If my screen, I hope my screen is visible to you. If it's not, let me share it again. Go to Google. Go to Google. Type in Jupyter. Okay, on the screen. And you can see this one. Project Jupyter. This one. Okay. Look at the home page. Oh, what I'll do is that requires a lot of what do you say, MB. So I don't know how much MB of sources with you are. So we'll download one by one application, no, after some period of a time. So as of now, what you do is that you download only PyCharm, and second, what will go is that the Colab, which is available on the internet only. You won't have to require. What you just require is an email ID, your email ID, which is with the Gmail. Why? Because Colab is a software which is designed and developed by Google. So only thing that you require is your Gmail ID or Gmail account. I hope everyone has the Gmail account. Okay. I hope everyone is done with this download. Yes or no? I'm not able to hear anyone. Did you guys download the application? Once you're done with the what you do is that the you see at the end, and you will be able to see a Python community. Python community. This is an application. This is an application. Are you able to see? What you do is that you just right click, right what you do is that run as an administrator. Run as administrator. You can double click and it will start downloading process. It will unzip the files, whatever the files are there in it. But I'm trying to suggest you try to run it as a run as administrator. The reason for that is that sometimes what happens is that your system has some security issues. There are some certain firewalls in it which will not allow the third party application to be downloaded without security check. Right. And what kind of a security check I don't know that what kind of a security check you might come across, right? Because I'm not in the networking part. So what you do is that run as an administrator. What will do is that when you run as an administrator, it will allow this application to give the permission of whatever the user account is. So what you do is that just run it as a run as administrator. Run it as a run as administrator. I hope it is visible. Is my screen visible? Is it visible? Yes or no? I'm not able to hear them. See on my screen. This is an application. I download able to this application. look at it. This is the now check with the voice. Now check with the audio. Now is it still
Now check. Now let's check on the voice. Is it still unclear? I hope now it's very much clear. Now, yes or no? Rakesh, Bindu, can you just unmute yourself and let me know if my voice is still unclear with you, or is it clear? Okay, now it's clear. Okay, thank you. I tried to switch my network, maybe some issue with the better. Okay, thank you. All right, so you can see from Pavni, Kishore, Vijay, Pradeep, Bindu, I just want to ask one question. Done with the download? Done with the download, yes or no? Say something, guys. I'm not able to understand because we already done with 10-15 minutes. Okay, downloaded. Okay, just guys, unmute yourself and let me know. I'm not on the home page. Okay, Pradeep has only said he has done with the download. Okay, Pavni says she has done with the download. What about the rest? Bindu says okay. So what you need to do is that see, go to that application and just click on right click and say run as administrator. Just try to run as an administrator and start clicking on next, nothing else. Click on run as administrator and click on next, click on next. Okay, what we'll do is that meanwhile, what we'll do is that I'll share you one more. Okay, is my screen visible? Is my screen visible? Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I better, yeah, I'll show you better way. Okay, go to Google, go to Google. So let's go with the code. Yeah, Colab. So go to Google, type on Colab, type on Colab. Best I'll get it on this cloud only. Drop that idea for now. So go to Colab. Go with me. Come with me. Come with me. Go to Google. Type Colab. Say look at it. Go to Google. Type Colab and click on this first link. Welcome to Collaboratory. Click on this first link. Welcome to Collaboratory. Go to Google. Go to Google and type Colab. 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 Okay, and you will see, click on that first page, first one, welcome to Collaboratory. I'll show you again. So go to Google, type on Colab. Once you click on enter, you'll be able to see this page, welcome to Collaboratory. Click on it, right? Or you can click on this link, Google Colab, whichever you want. Nothing to worry, it will navigate you. So just make sure you have navigated to this page. Yes, so once you're done, you can see on my screen. I hope you are able to see on my screen. Click on this sign up. Click on this sign up page. Right hand side. You can see on my cursor. Right hand side. Click on sign up page. You can see on my screen. Sign up. Where is it? Yes. So what you need to do is that you just need to have this Google LinkedIn, or you can click on open collab. As soon as you click on open collab, you will be able to see this page. Welcome to Collaboratory. And you can see on the right hand side, you will see my name is there. I mean, was one you can see on the right hand side. Are you guys with me? Once again, I'll say, let me
Yes,
show
yes.
you how. Well, see, go to Google, type on Colab, see Colab, hit enter. As soon as I hit enter, this page, first one, welcome to Collaboratory, Google Research. Click on it. So as soon as I click on it, it will navigate me to this page. Welcome to Colab. This page. And on the right hand screen, on the right hand side, this one, you can see my name is there, the logo is there. Yes, you click on that. Just check if you are logged in with the Gmail account. I'll explain why we need this software. I'll tell you, but just first click on that link. So this one, try to click on it and choose your account. This is my account. So click on it and choose an account. Done. Done. Click on this whole thing, and you can click on this file now. You can click on this file now, and you can click on new notebook. See, already have logged in with the Google account, so that is why it is showing my Google account, right? So then you're done, and click on new notebook. Click on new notebook. Click on new notebook. Click on new notebook. See on the top, you can see on the file, under the file tab, you can see on the left hand side there's a file tab. There are different tabs like file, edit, view, insert, runtime. Click on file tab. File. See, as soon as you click on this file tab, you'll see new notebook. Open means the existing one. Upload means if you want to upload. I just don't want to upload, or I don't want to open the existing one. I want to create a new one, right? This is the first day. So click on new. As soon as I click on new, so it will navigate me to that particular page. So this page has been opened. Are you able to see this page? So this will be the page, home page. I hope everyone is on this page, which I am able to show it to you. Are we all on the same page? This page. Okay, Pavni is the only one who she has said yes. If we are all on the same page, let me know, then we'll start. I'll explain you why we need. Okay, only three answers from yes. Got it? Only Bindu has said, okay, Rakesh has said, yes, Pavni has said, yes, Bindu has said, Pradeep is there. Okay, cool. So we have started. So now the question is, right, the question was, Vijay was, why do we need a software? See, we need a platform, right? Now, suppose you're using an application, right? In your application, for example, I'm using an application called Zomato, right? So we need a base or we need a platform to run that application. And what is that application base for that? Either you use iOS to run that application, or what you need is a Android based to run that application. In the real time, I'll say in a very simpler way, I'll tell you, try to make understand, right now, suppose we want to play a cricket, right? You want to play cricket. So for playing cricket, what you need is a pitch, right? A pitch, or that is a 22 yards pitch, right? If you don't have a pitch, you will not be able to play a cricket, right? Because why? If you try to bounce the ball on a grass, right, that is a turf, the ball will not bounce at that height what is expected to bounce on a proper pitch. So that is what in simple what I'm saying is that when you're trying to build a software or whatever, trying to do a coding, right, whatever the Python language, you need an environment in which you're going to code, and that environment is being provided by Colab, which is by Google. Either you can use PyCharm, that is by JetBrains, or you can go with Jupyter, whichever it fits best. Now, why we are going to go with the Colab? The best part is that why I suggest to use Colab, because it is cloud based. Now, when the question comes, what is cloud based? Now, see, if you look at it, what is the only thing that was required to use this software is your Gmail ID. You can see on my right hand side, let me bring the cursor to it. You'll be able to see Google account when that account has been written over here. So what happens is that the best thing, when I click on this file, and I say save, right? When I say save, and once I close this tab, right? Once I close this tab, let me first rename it by double click on title 0. So I'll say Python, right? Python class, right? And what is the date? What is date today? 29. Maybe I'll say only Python classes, right? Or Python classes, right? This is the name. Now, when I save a file, I'll say save, right? Because we need to save everything, whatever you're trying to do. And when I close this, okay, I got a notification saved successful. And when I want to open it, now the screen might have gone. So when I click on file, let me show it again. Let me show it to you, right? So now if you can see on my screen, so when this is a home page, right? Now if it's not this page, if I click on Google something, right? So if I say Colab, right? Colab. So again I go to welcome to Collaboratory, right? This is an official page. And I go to file now and I say open. This is open. I don't want to open a new file because already I have created with a name called Python classes. I go to open notebook. I'll search. Okay, this is the part Python classes. And as soon as I open this Python classes, right, what is the name of that file? So you'll be able to see that page appears on your screen, right? And it is exactly at till that point which you have saved it. Either you can click on Control S, which is the basic way to save, or you can just go on file, or you can save over here. See, this is option Control S. So there are different options. Save as copy in Drive if you want to save it onto Drive, if you want to save it on GitHub, or you can just normally save this on a Google Lab, Colab, that you can save, right? But as of now, I just want to save it and I want to keep it on this Colab only. I don't want to move the file anywhere else, right? Now the question was, why do we need it? So we need a platform to write our code. You need a platform to write a code, and that is why that is called an environment, and that environment are nothing but Colab, Jupyter, and PyCharm. Visual Studio is also there, but this is a mostly used when you talk about the Python languages. Clear? Got it? Now why do we need that? Right? And I said we need to use Colab. The reason behind that is that now what happens is that if I don't want to use this one, just a second, just a second, guys. So now if I want to open this on a mobile, right? If I want to open this on mobile, still I have an access which I can open it on the mobile. You got my point. Now this is device I'm using my system, so that is why I'm able to open. Now suppose some people, like now maybe you might be traveling tomorrow, you don't have a laptop or you don't have a system, and you want to have an access or you want to code in your free time onto right? You want to code. So what you need to do is that what you require is only LinkedIn, sorry, only your Gmail account. Through the Gmail account, you can just have an access to it. But if you are using Jupyter or you are using another software like PyCharm that are locally installed. What are those? That are locally installed onto your system. You, if you want to have an access to the pages, or if you want to use that code or environment, you don't need to carry your system with you all the time. Why? Because that is locally installed. What do you mean by that is not user centric? That is not centralized. You have a install and you have saved somewhere and you can have an access to it. So that is the biggest drawback of using that Jupyter and PyCharm and Visual Studio. But the best part with Colab is that you can just have an access by using your email ID, so you can look at it. So even can, if you want, you can just go through mobile, and in the mobile type the same thing, go to Google, type Colab, and just try to open that file through your mobile as well. So that is the reason why we are going to use this Colab instead of PyCharm and instead of other things. Reason, because you can also have an access to this Colab file. That is the best part. Got it now? Is it clear? Clear or not? Got the answer? You got the answer? Yes or no? Guys, unmute yourself and just let me know you got the answer or not. Okay, clear. So I hope everyone is on the same page, which I'm trying to open. So try to click on, double click over here, so on the top one side, and just try to rename whatever you want to rename it to yourself. And we are going to start with this first session. So let me present the PPT over here. So let me show it to you. I forgot what is slideshow. Okay, here. So let's start. What is exactly variable? So I just want to know from your side, what do you know about the Python? See, we are going to go in hierarchy. So what is the first thing? What we need to do is that we are going to start with the Python, right? We are going to go in a sequence. So I just want to know from your side, what do you know about Python? So there are different. The syllabus has been shared with you. If not, not to worry. I'll ask to share the syllabus once again in the evening. So from your side, I just want to know what do you know about Python first of all. Okay, let's rate ourselves on the scale of 5. How much do you rate? Okay, before I could proceed, I just want to know from your side, how much do you rate on the scale of 5 for the Python language? Because see, right now currently we are studying Python, so we are not going to discuss about any other technologies or programming languages. We are going to stick with Python only. See, I ask the students, some people hesitate, right, when I train at the corporates as well or the college as well. Some students say, sir, we are rating ourselves at 0. That is okay. That's totally acceptable. See, right? No one knows everything perfectly. I just want to know from your side, how much do you rate on a scale? Okay, Vijay says 1. Okay, Shravani says 2. Now, someone do not come with the answer 3. Okay, even if it's 2.5, it's okay. But I just want to know what measurement do you use to calculate that zero point 0.5? Okay, so Vijay says 1 and Shravani says 2. Pradeep says 0. See, that's okay. See, if you need it's 0, it's okay. Pavni says 1. Bindu says 2. Rakesh says 2. Okay, all right. And Kishore, you're the only one, last man left in the crew. What do you think? How much do
Yeah,
you rate?
nothing from the side. I don't know
No, no.
about
How much do you
2.5.
rate? Like 0 or 1 or 2, whatever.
Zero,
So
sir.
we'll go accordingly.
Yes.
All right.
Zero.
So see, 0.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great, cool. All right, so let's go. So let me present the screen. Thank you so much. Okay, let's present the screen once again from the beginning. So what exactly Python is, right? So if you look at the other languages, there are other languages like Python, Java, C++, C. Nowadays, why the people are using Python language? Because of its convenience. What I'm saying is that because of its convenience. Now you tell me, right? If you look at the television, right, in earlier days, like 25 years ago, maybe or 20, 30 years ago, we had a television as well, right? It was not that television was just invented in 2020, 23, right, or 24. It was there earlier, invented 50 years ago. Now you tell me, but on those early days, like 90s or 2000s, we had a television set, but to change the channel, the way to change the channel was a knob. There was a knob, or there were buttons to change the channel. So if you want to change the channel, suppose if I'm watching the sports channel, I want to switch it to news channel. What I want to supposed to do is that have to get up from my place. I have to go there and I have to click on that number, whatever is there, and accordingly to it, I can change my number, right? According to that, I can just change my number. एक second, hold on. So now if I want to change the channel, what I have to do is that I have to get up from my place and I have to click on that numbers, and I have to change the knob if I want to get that channel. But nowadays what happens is that now even I don't need to have a remote. Even Alexa does my job, right? If I want to change the channel, what I do is that I just say Alexa or Siri, right? Siri is not, Alexa is there. And I ask Alexa, okay, change the channel, right? Whatever the channel, or I want to play the song, I just give the information. This is all AI based, huh? It's an artificial intelligence, right? So this Alexa converts that into the scaling. That scaling is done, right? Scaling means it has converted that human voice, into its own format. Everything, you need to remember one thing: in a machine, you talk about Alexa, you talk about computer, you talk about any machine, everything is based on 0 and 1 only. Either it is true or it is false. Whatever I've written now, whatever the programming we are going to do, everything will be converted into 0 and 1 format. You need to remember one thing: everything will be on the scale of zeros and ones only. Got it? So now suppose when I give the instructions to Python, right? Now suppose I will give the instructions to television, right? So what Alexa does is that it changes the channel, whatever if I want to play. Now Python, why I'm trying to tell you is that Python has made a lot of convenience. It has made the writing code in a very simpler way and in easiest way. If you talk about Java, if you have seen to other language, if not, it's okay. You just have a look today after the end of session. You'll see there are a lot of complexity in writing the code, right? If you want to do a proper writing, there are a lot of curly braces over there. There are a lot of indentation, that is possible. Indentation is there. There are semicolons over there. There are commas over there. Just give me a second. Huh? Let me go with the right place. I'm sorry for that. I know there's a disturbance. Give me a second. I'll just switch, get to my own room. Give me a minute. Sorry for the background noise. No, it's fine. Okay. So we're talking about this Python, right? When we talk about the Python, what it gives is that first thing, it's an interpreter language. What does it interpreter means that now, for example, I'll ask you a question, right? You give me an answer. I have written a code. Listen to my question very carefully, because within the question lies an answer. If I have written a code, right? Suppose I have written a 10,000 line of a code. How many lines? 10,000. Because when you're trying to write a code, right, it's neither going to be a 100 line of a code or 1,000. It will at least be 10,000. Some applications goes more than 1 lakh as well, and it is divided into teams. So if I write a 10,000 line of a code, how many? 10,000 line of a code. After, right, when I try to generate an output, right? So what is that generation output? When I try to run the code, like, see if you can look at over here. So if I write a line of a code, and if I try to play on it, and after that entire process, right, it goes to that 10,000 line of a code, and after that it has taken some time, right? Because it depends upon your processing speed, right? That is why I asked you what processor you are using, right? Because in the future also you need CPU. There are tensor flows as well. There are Nvidia has also good processors. Now if after 10,000 line of a code, it has taken, first of all, it has taken some time, right? Maybe 10 minutes to run that entire line of a code. After 10 minutes or 15 minutes, it generates an output saying error. Imagine what it says. It generates an error, and the error is nothing but a semi-comma. What I'm saying is that error is nothing but a semi-comma. So what you do is that you try to resolve that question. Okay, that's okay. Again, you try to run a code. Again, it's going to take the same amount of a time, 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, it generates an output. Again, it says that some kind of error. Maybe hashtag is missing, right? Comments are missing, small variables are missing. So what is happening is that for the small kind of an error, if you try to start coding, I'll tell you, errors are never huge, they're never big. Smaller errors are there, and they eat your entire night. I'm telling you, when I started my coding in the early days, I used to code. Logic was not the problem. What problem I always came across was this curly braces, this semi-commas, commas, colon, the small kind of like naming conventions like small case, uppercase, right? These were the errors. And whenever you try to run a code, and you are investing 10 minutes for every output, then imagine how frustration it has to be there on your mind, right? Because you're running an entire code and you're getting this stupid output. If it's an right output, that is okay, but you're getting such kind of a small error, then definitely it's going to eat your entire day, maybe a month, just because of small errors, uppercase and lowercase. That are not errors, right? But we can call it as an error. Why? Because that has been shown by the machines. Human mind can understand uppercase and smaller case. Like if I write apple in a smaller case, like A double P L E this way, and A double P L E. For me, apple is an apple. But for this computer, for this machine, this apple is different. This apple is different. Why? Because it starts with capital A, and this apple is going to be different. So this comparison, this variable is going to be used in a different format, and this is going to be used in a different format, because this is machine, this is not humans. Whatever you program them, they're going to understand in this way only, right? Now for us it's understandable. Now what happens is that you get an output and you're not getting a right expected output, you're getting an error, a small kind of error. So what is happening is that then Python came into play. Python understood that what is happening is that people are trying to implement a right logic, but what is happening is that it's not convenient. It's not convenient. If you look at the McDonald's also used this kind of a strategy. People were going and eating at the restaurants, but what they have to do is that they have to place an order. After that it takes 15 minutes, it takes 20 minutes, after that the order has been given to them. But this McDonald's understood that what people know is that now if they're driving somewhere, right, they're moving from one place to another, or they're in a hurry, what they don't want is that they want to have the food and they can enjoy it wherever they can. And what McDonald's did is that they changed the tradition or the entire policies of eating in your car or maybe eating at the restaurant. What you can do is that you can place an order, take that meal, and you can eat it anywhere you want. You can eat in your car, you can eat at a McDonald's, you can eat at the park, anywhere at your place you want. Why? This has made the things very convenient, because people cannot wait for 15 minutes and 20 minutes for every single order. What happens is that definitely it will increase their angriness. It will not, that it is like testing the patience. They'll not come next time. People want the things to be very instant and quick, right? Got it? Remember, even if you are going to spend a day for an error, so definitely it's going to increase your angriness, it is going to increase your frustration, and definitely you're not going to code. At the end, we are humans, we are also not machines. And for that convenience, for writing a better code, Python came into the act. And what it is that Python is called as an interpreter language. What is called as an interpreter? Now the question arises, what is an interpreter? Like if I ask you the question, what is interpreter? What is the literal meaning of interpreter? Can you just explain me? Interpreter. Then I'll tell you how did it resolve the queries. This they figure out what is the problem with the software industry, and then Python came with a solution. That is why Python become very popular. I told you the reason. I told you the problem. That what is the problem with the people? They're writing a code, but the problem is that whenever they try to write a code, like suppose they have written 1,000 line of a code, right? They have written something like this, right? Example, I'll show it to you. They have written something, right? This starts with one, this is the first line of a code, this is second, this third, fourth, and so on, right? And so on. Well, like this and this, like 100 lines of code, right? And what happens is that when I run a code, this entire 100 lines of 1,000 line of a block of code gets executed, and after that I get an output saying that naming convention, semi-comma, comma, right? So it's a very big challenging thing for me. So that is what Python came, and Python is known as an interpreter language. Now I just want to know, before I can tell you why this, what Python does, I just want to know literal meaning of interpreter. What is interpreter meaning? What do you think? Can you just tell me what is the meaning of interpreter in the literal meaning, or you can say in a dictionary language? What is the meaning? What is the dictionary meaning of interpreter? Yes, anyone? I hope my screen is visible. Okay, it acts as a mediator. Okay, right. So we can say is that I don't know. Okay, Rakesh has given the right answer. I just want to know what it means. Right? Let's not overthink. Right? We just want to know mediator or interpreter. Interpreter means like converting from one form to another form. Now, suppose if I go to Spain, right, and the Spaniards, right, the Spanish people, they speak Spanish, but, and I'm there to deliver the training, right, to deliver the training. I don't understand Spanish, and they don't understand English. Now, what we do is that in this part, we hire a mediator, that is the interpreter. What is that? Interpreter. What does interpreter does is that whatever I'm going to deliver, that guy is going to listen and convert it into the Spanish language and deliver it to the audience. Okay. And when audience have some queries or they have doubts, they'll speak in their own language, that is Spanish, like Spanish. This guy will listen to their queries and doubts, whatever the feedbacks are there, and he will just translate back into the English. That is nothing but the job of an interpreter. So what I'm trying to do is that now we are trying to write a code, right? So when you're trying to code, right? Suppose example, I'm writing A is equal to 10. Right? I'll tell you what exactly happens, right? I'm saying print A. I'm saying print A, right? Print A, right? Now what happens is that, see, it needs to have a internet. It, because this collab works on internet, because this is all based on cloud. You can see on the right hand side, see it's saying connecting, it's saying connecting. So it will connect with the internet. Remember one thing, it will connect with the internet. Okay, so once you're done with the internet connection, you'll be able to see an output. Okay, so it's running. Once you get, now let me remove this part as an interpreter. So let me run this code once again. Okay. So now I was talking about this interpreter. What interpreter does that? He's converting my English language into Spanish and he's giving it for, he's passing on the same message to Spanish people. He's listening from Spanish people and converting it back into this English language. So what happens is that in synchronization, the things are working in a proper way. Only thing what we have required in middle is the interpreter, translating, converting from one form to another and converting that form again back to the original one. Right? This is what the job of interpreter is. Now what here the environment is doing is that Python is doing what is that now I have typed A is equal to 10, typed A is equal to 10, and I have typed print A. Now this is right. This is be able to understand from my side. This is like in an English language. Now when I run a code, when I run a code, this line, this A is equal to 10 and print A, this all converted into 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 form. It's converted into 0 1 0 1 form. What happens is that because why machine understand 0 1 0 1, once it understand what happens is that okay, it's converted A into 10, like suppose this way, 0 1 0 1. Okay, again it goes and it says print A, right? Again it generates an output like 0 1 0 1, right? But when I say like print A, what happens is that this is like passing from what happens is that I'm trying to type, say I'll say A is equal to 10, right? A is equal to 10. What happens is that this Python with the help of Colab, what it does is that it converts this A is equal to 10 into into machine form, that is either 0 and 1 form. That is 1, right? And after back, what happens is that the 0 1 once the output is generated, 0 1 whatever that from the analyst code, once the output is generated, this 0 1 is converted back into the human, whatever the human form is. And for this conversion pro, what we require is a kind of an interpreter. As I said, I need an interpreter to convert my English language into Spanish and then converting Spanish to English. I need an interpreter. Here, Python is playing a role of conversion that human language, whatever I'm trying to write, to to machine language, to machine language. What is machine language? Human language, what that is there, what E to Z, A to Z, and uh, and 1 to infinity. This is what the human language is, right? Whatever we speak in our daily life. And machine language is nothing but they're only into the form of zeros and one. And now, if I try to ask you, if I write this code, this line of a code, I try to write it in a machine language. So I don't know what machine language does. Like A don't know what is A. A is like 64, right? A stands for 64. So it will be like this way: 64 is equal to 1 is 10, 1 0 1 0, right? And then I'll say print. Okay, print is a function. Okay, print. And what I'll say again, A. What is A? 64. Now this is a very big challenge for me to understand what is the ASCII code. This is like an ASCII code. If you understand this, A has an ASCII code of 64, right? Then 65, 66, A to Z, and after that capital A and that thing. So if you understand, this is a very tough language for me to understand, right? And that is what it has reduced its complexity by using this Python language. Now, if I say why it is reduced, now I was talking about, listen, come back to this question. Do not forget the center point. We were talking about that point of entire line of a code. If I've written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? That's 10,000, right? I'm trying to generate an output. I need to show my error. What this Python does is that it's an interpreter language, and it reads the line. It reads the code line by line. What it does is that it reads the code line by line. Now imagine I have an error, right? As I said earlier, it is taking how many minutes to run a code? It is taking 10 minutes, right? I was talking about in any other language. Suppose I'm talking about C. If I'm talking about C++, right? C++, or maybe I'm talking about another language like Java, right? So how many minutes is going to take? It's taking 10 minutes. I'm writing over here 10 minutes, right? Because see, this language, it goes through entire line of a code. Whatever the codes you have written, no matter how many lines of a code, it has to go through all the line of a code, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 1,000, and then after that it will generate an output, whatever the output is there. But when I'm talking about this Python language, what is going to happen is that Python reads the code line by line. Let me zoom in and I'll show you. Let me zoom. So what happens is that Python reads the line, reads the code line by line, line by line. Now what happens is that it started with this line first. Okay, it saw there's no error. Okay, fine. Then it goes to second line. There's no error. Third line, no error. But now what happened is that it found an error on the fourth line. What had happened? It found an error on the fourth line. Now suppose it has taken 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, and 4 second, right? Now what happens is that it will not proceed ahead. It will not go for the fifth line. It will not go for the sixth line. It is not going to go for any other line. It is what going to happen is that it will terminate the program from here only, and from here only what will happen is that it will show an error, that just like this way it is showing as an output. This is called as a console screen, whichever is that the output appears. The output appears, that screen, once again I repeat, the output, the screen, the output appears, that screen is called as a console screen. That is called as a console screen. So on the console screen, what happens is that on the fourth line only, when it found an error, it is going to terminate that coding, and it is going to show an error on the console screen saying whatever errors are there. There are different kinds of error: name error, type error, attribute error. I'm going to tell you one by one. Just try to understand why Python is so popularly used. So now what happened is that when it shows an error, it is not going to proceed with the next line of a code. Even if the lines of code, what I'm saying, even those lines of code are correct, still it will not proceed. It will say first correct this part, and then only I'll proceed with this part. Then what will happen is that it is going to save that amount of a time. Imagine how much time is it going to save if it's going to terminate from that line of a code. Imagine this is just 1,000 line of a code. I'm saying when you're trying to write a original code, it takes 10,000 lines of a code. And imagine if every software is going to take 10 minutes and 15 minutes, and after 15 minutes you're going to get a small error saying semi-comma missing or comma missing. How frustrating it will become for you, because you're humans, you are going to work with the deadlines. So Python is what happens that it has reduced this complexity of throwing an error. Wherever it finds an error, it will just show, okay, this is an error. Okay, just stop over here. After that, no matter how much the lines are correct, even from fifth line till 1,000 line or 100 line, all the lines of code are correct. All the lines of correct, but still it will not bother. What will show is that it will show an error, and it will say, please correct this sentence. After that only we can proceed. That you need to correct that sentence. And again, see, even if you throw, I'll show you here. I'll go with this example only. So what happens is that, see, here if I say something, right, if I'll show you here. mm, One, okay, look at it. So as soon as I run, as I said, Python is a interpreter language, and it reads the code line by line. So this is first line and this is second line. It will go according to this only. It will not print this part. This will not be first and this will not be second one. It will go into hierarchy only, first, second, third. So see, when as I run the code, what happens is that it will show an error. It will show an error over here. See, this is a naming convention. I'll show you. This is an error of name convention. So syntax error. Why? I'll show you how. Now let me show something on my screen. Now what exactly we need to start? Before we can start with Python language, I'll show you something on the screen. I'll go to Google. I'll go to Google. I'll type FA. I hope my screen is visible. Are you able to see my screen? Are you able to see my screen? Get confused. This is the first session. It's like when I went to school, I was just asked to go and sit in the school. I was not asked to study anything. It's what is it? Just get acquainted with voice first. You just show you tutorial. Hold on. Is my screen visible and is my voice audible? Just let me know, guys, if my voice is audible. So can you see? Okay, now audible. Okay, now can you see on my screen? I'm talking about PEP 8. PEP 8. Are you able to see? So what is PEP 8? I'll tell you. I'll tell you this PEP 8. If I click on it, right, you will see. So when you're going to type this Python, right, when we are going to use this Python language to code, what PEP 8 stands for? It is a set of guidelines. It is like a set of guidelines that how do you write a syntax, right? Whatever the syntax are there, whatever the naming conventions are there, whatever the operators that you're going to use, how do you use into the coding. This is all set of rules that are there. Now if I try to understand you in the real time example, everyone over here knows how to ride a bike and how to drive a car. I just want to know, do you know how to ride a bike and how do you drive a car? Do you guys know? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, you know. So now suppose what happens is that now you want to have a license, right? You want to have a license, right? You go to this RT office, right, to get a license. What he does is that he'll just ask you some symbols, right? What does this straight arrow stands for? What is that U-turn arrow stands for? What is left side arrow, right? So you tell them, okay, you tell that guy, or whenever you are on the signal, you'll see that, okay, it's a green signal, it's a red signal, it's a right, no, yellow signal. So I just want to know from your side, when you see a green signal into the signals, what it stands for? What does it stand for? When you see a green signal into your system, on the signals, what does it stand for? I'm talking about the traffic signals. What does
Ready
the
to go.
green stand for? What it stands for?
Ready to go. You can go now. That's like
Yeah, you're ready to go. You can move from the idle place wherever you are. When you see a right signal, red light, what you understand,
stop.
right? When you see a you need to stop. When you see a yellow signal or an orange signal, that means that it is about to be a red signal, so just slow down your speed, right? When you see a man symbol right into that signal, that means that if it's a green one, that means you're ready. You can right, you can just use a zebra crossing to cross from one side to another one. So what I'm trying to tell you is that these are the traffic rules that you have to follow, right? When you're to traffic, I understand in India we hardly follow, but I'm just telling you these are rules that you have to follow, right? And if you do not follow those rules, right, what happens? What happens if you do not follow those rules? What happens if I'm driving, right? If I'm riding a bike, if I do not follow a traffic signal, maybe if I want to go right, I have to turn on the indicators which are on the right side. If I want to go left, I have to turn on the indicator which goes left, right? So these are the rules. If I do not stop when it's a red signal, what will happen? I'll just come right if I see it's a red signal, but still I'm trying to drive with the same velocity or speed. What will happen? Even if I see a red signal, I do not stop at the signal. What will happen? What will happen? My question is. So can I say those who have a green signal, and when those who are trying to cross, right? Maybe I'll come across an accident. I might hit another vehicle. Yes or no? Those who are
Yeah,
trying to
you
cross.
can't.
Yes. Tell me what will happen. What will happen? Right.
You
So
may
I
cause
might
accident.
right. We may encounter with an accident. Right. I might hit some another vehicle. Now there is no problem with another person. Right. It was all with me. It was clearly shown that it's a red signal. What you need to do, it's a red light. What you need to do is that you had to stop at this point. But what I did is that I didn't stop, and I just kept on driving with the same speed, and that is why I encountered with a accident. That is what the rules are there. Why? Because you have to follow them. If you do not follow that traffic signals, what is going to happen is that you might even lose your lives, right? If it's a very dangerous accident, or it might encounter with a very harsh encounter, you might even lose your life. The traffic signals are made for our own benefits, right? In the same way, when you're talking about this pepet, what is this pepet, right? So this pepet is nothing but a set of rules. What is this? This is a Python enhancement proposals. This is like a set of rule book. When you're trying to write a code in a Python, when you're trying to write a code in Python, these are the set of rules that you need to use. Like if I click on the left hand side, those are called as an index, right? That is like if you can see on any book, like you can see on the first page that this is this there, on the second page this is there. So those are like contents, whatever the contents are there. Like suppose if I say, if I click on constant, if I see over here, so it will take me to that page, and it will tell me that how do you write a constant into this Python, or you can say comments, right? If I want to have a comment, so it will tell me that how do you use a comment. So if you look at it, I'll try to highlight this part. If I want to have a comment, right, so you'll see each line of a block comment start with an hashtag and a single space, right? So what I'll do is that if I want to use a comment, right, suppose if I'll here and I say comment, right, comment, so this line of a code will not help me to comment to this part. What need to do is that it is written into Puppet, right? What is Puppet? It is a rule book. If I want to comment something, right, comment means what? That line of a code exists, that line of a code exists, but it will not play any role during the execution. It will just be there as like a note, a sticky note. So I'll say hashtag. Why? Because if you look at it, it will say each line of block comment start with a hashtag. So if you want to write a comment, I need to go with a hashtag. So see, if I remove this comment, it's in a black code. If I click on hashtag with the comment at the hashtag, you'll see this is a comment. Now if I run a code, see, it is showing an error. Now why is it showing an error? This on the left hand side, this is on the left side, are called as variables. Called as variables. What are variables in a small, in a sweet way? Now my name is Sangram. Right. My name is Sangram. Your name is Pradeep. Your name is Kishore. Your name is Bindu. Your name is Ravni, Pavni, Rakesh. Right. If you don't have a name, if I don't have a name, I just like a pronoun. Right. If I say hey, or I'll say he had your lunch, or she had your dinner. So will you be able to understand with whom I'm talking? Right now, suppose if I say he had your lunch, so there are like three, four male boys into the session. So will it be very specific for you to understand to whom I'm talking to? If I say he had your lunch, or she, how was your day? So will you be able to figure out that whom am I talking to? Will you be able to understand? Yes or no? If I say he had your lunch, and if I say she, you'll not be able to understand. Yes or no? Kishore, what do you think? Vijay, Bindu, Shravani, what do you think? Right? So you'll not be able to understand. But when I say, like, Pradeep had your lunch, so it will be very much clear that in the entire session, the rest will understand that I am trying to ask Pradeep that had your lunch. And if I say, Shravani, how was your day? So it will be very much clear that I'm not asking anyone else. If I say, Vijay, what are you doing right now? So it will be very much clear that I'm asking Vijay. So what names are, what variables are? Variables are nothing but a name that has been given for a certain kind of values. So on the right hand side are called as values. Those are called as values, and these are called as variables. So if I want to store something, right, on a something, if I want to store some value, what I need to do is that I have to give a variable. What I need to do is that variable. Now some like Zomato guy, whatever the food delivery application, Uber Eats or an Amazon. So he comes at your door and he calls your name. So now, sir, this is your order. I say yes, I am Sangram, right? So he gives the this whatever the order I have placed, right, on Amazon or food delivery app is given to me. For that guy, what is important is the name, right? If he doesn't know my name, then he'll not be able to understand to whom this order has to be given, right, during the delivery. So that is called as a variable. Variables are nothing but a name. Now if you can see, right, I'll not stretch more than a minute or two. So you can see still it's an error. So why there is an error, I'll show you in the Puppet. In the Puppet, if I go to this naming conventions, if I go to this naming convention, see what is this pep Python enhancement proposal. And in a very simpler way, this is nothing but a set of rules that you need to follow when you're trying to design and write a code, that is a syntax into the Python. And if you can see the naming convention, naming means what? You're trying to give a name. So you can see the following name styles are commonly distinguished. That means that how do you write a name? So either you can start, your name has to be started with the lowercase, either it has to start with the uppercase, lowercase with underscore, uppercase, upper with underscore, capitalize, mixed case. I'll tell you what are there, different. But you can see there's nowhere written that you can start with numbers. You can see there's nothing written as start with number. But if I scroll it down, if I scroll it to down, and you'll be able to see names to avoid, names to avoid. So you'll find that never use characters like L, lowercase letter ELO, as a single character. And you'll see if I scroll it down, you will see, exception names on the function and method as a. So you'll see, I'll not scroll it down. So you'll see that you cannot use numbers. You cannot use numbers. You cannot use numbers to start as a variable. You cannot use a numbers or keywords, whatever the keywords are there. I'll tell you what are the reserved keywords. You cannot use the numbers or keywords to start using as a variable. So if I come back to the code, right, let me go to this code. So what happened is that you cannot start a variable with a number. So what I'll do is that I'll just use a small case as it was written. Now see, the error is gone. If I say 1, error is there. Or if I use a variable, this is there. But if I just write a name, like anyone, A, B, C, whatever, there's no error. There's no error. And if I say ABC now, ABC, you'll see. See, the comment is there. See, this comment is there, but this is just a comment. This is like a variable name now. And this is a value that is holded by this variable, that is ABC. And what print function is that? Everyone knows. When I go to on my system, it's like a same print function. When I want to print something, right? I'm using a printer and I want to click some images, I want to print that. What I do is that I go to the file option, I click on print. What happens is that if there are pages in the printer, it will just print that whatever I had said print. It's the same thing. Whatever you pass into this variable, whatever you pass into this print function, it is a function. Whatever you have passed, that will just print out. So whatever, this is a variable and this is a value, so it will print that value. But do not just get into the complexity. I'll try to explain everything in a simpler way. I'm just trying to make you acquainted that Python, what happens is that how do you going to use an environment, what is this thing. So I was trying to make you understand this Puppet is very important. What you need to do is that how much you can go through this Puppet, because these are rules. If I want to have a license, and if this RTO guy, right, who is the officer, he asked me to take a right, so I need to know how to take a right. Right, when I'm taking a right, I need to turn on the indicators which are on the right hand side, even there is no crowd behind me. But still, that is a rule. If I want to go left, either I have to take my left hand out, or I have to turn on the left hand indicator. So these are the ways that I have to follow, the signals or the rules I have to follow if I want to get that license, right? And if I want to save my life from the accidents and encounters, so I have to follow those traffic rules. In the same way, when you're trying to code something, you have to follow this Pepe, that is the rule book for this Python, right? So I just want you to go through it, right? What we did is that we are going to use this Python, this collab only. So today I'm just trying to give you an overview what exactly how we are going to work. But do not worry, everything right. I'll have this for the starting part. We have this PPT over there. We are going to understand with the assignments, small assignments every day after completion of topics, then capstone project. Not to worry. So if you are going to stuck at some point, not to worry, I'm going to resolve it. But just the thing is that I'm trying to make you acquainted with the subject. Even your scaling is on, rating is 0, still it's okay. You're going to learn it from the scratch only, I have told you. Just I'm trying to make you acquainted what is there. Just before coming tomorrow's session, what I want to do is that I want you to go to this Puppet part. So what happens is that it will just have a rough idea what exactly we are trying to train you on. So if you are having a certain idea, so you'll be able to understand a little bit better. Got it clear till here? Do you have any questions till here? Any questions so far? So got it? Why we are going to use Python? Python, you will understand when you are going to code. At that time, you'll be able to understand much more that why we're using Python. Because as I said, the best way is that if I have found an error at the fourth line, I don't want to proceed ahead. Right? I don't want to waste my time as well, and I don't want to waste anyone's time. So it's better that it has reduced this complexity, this drawback. Okay, clear? Okay, I hope everyone understood what exactly we're working on. So what we'll do is that tomorrow, slowly, we'll start with the variables, what are values, and we'll start writing few lines of a code, so we'll be able to understand. Okay, and through the paper, I'll not try to explain. You just have to go through it. Whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to do it in a real time, so that you'll be able to understand much more in a very better and convenient way. Clear? Got it? So use Colab. Why? Because even you're on a mobile, you can just have an access. Just you what you need is a Gmail account. Got it? Clear. Okay. So is everyone able to log in with this home page? I hope everyone is able to have this page, this Python class. What I'm trying to have. I hope everyone has logged into this page. Yes or no? Just let me know. Are you guys on this page? Yes or no? Python, that Colab page, the first home page.
Yes, yes.
Yes. All right. So let's stop over here. Let's meet tomorrow then at same time 7 o'clock.